Hello, so this is your TV adjustment optimization viewing guide. If you're trying to, like, if you bought a TV, you're not too sure if the colors or the image is quite right, or you just think looks altogether pretty bad, this is a way you can readjust it and make sure it looks a little better than you thought it would. So, right here we've got the Insignia NS24E3 40A13. And this one's a 24-inch LED television set. So we're going to see what we can do about setting up the images. Usually the first thing you run into when you're setting up image quality is you start with the brightness. Now we're looking at the reference black level. So even though it's called brightness, little known fact is that it is the shades of black and the contrast of the shades of bright or white. So let's see, I'm going to pull this up here until we're able to see the white flashing bars on the right near the reference black, and we're trying to see if we can get these stair steps closer to reference black. Reference black should not be blinking or shining. So then once you get a little bit too much, it's a little too bright and hazy, just make sure you barely even see the step next to reference black. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. So I will go ahead and leave it as such. Brightness with this one had to be 52. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the next one for contrast. Now Xbox One makes it easier, but if you have something else that's different, you'd use the AVS video on YouTube. And so for reference white, this one we're going to adjust contrast with. So try pulling it up. They usually say bring contrast all the way to the top and then just slowly lower it. And as you lower it, you should be able to see the blinking lights right there. So this one requires us to set it at, I'd say, what, 45 or so, maybe a little bit more, so you don't see a bar on. You want to make sure there's no bar on 235, but a bar right next to it on 234. So I think that looks good for now. We could probably readjust that later. And then this next image shows both the white settings and the black settings. So if you're able to adjust both.
We got a steady drip.
Alright, let me just double check. Now after you adjust the white reference, you can go back and readjust brightness or black reference. So let's see what we have here. Usually things change once you adjusted. Okay, I think that's gonna be good. Alright, now we'll go to the next step. So this one is color adjustment and hue adjustment. Now not everybody would have these and not many would know, but for these adjustments you're going to need a blue filter. Usually THX sells them with little glasses that look like 3D glasses, but it's just blue. And this blue filter will allow you to see the difference between the blue color and the white. And you want to make sure you adjust color up and down until the blue and the white look exactly the same, so you don't see the flashing dot as much. And then when it comes to tint, you go over to Cayenne and take a look at Cayenne and Magenta and make sure they look identical as well. So for that, you just adjust tint up and down until that's regular. So yeah, and if you don't have it, they say adjust by eye, but it's really hard to tell unless you're looking at a good reference for color. So yeah. Now the next one we have here includes overscan and sharpness. Now sharpness, sometimes people like to bring it all the way up as high as they can until they start seeing little edges. That looks fun sometimes, but it creates sometimes either a halo effect or a what would you say, kind of unnecessary glow around certain edges that gives it this strange glare. So what you want to do is you can adjust it as low as possible. something about the image. I think it's on low quality here. I'll probably readjust. But you want to start as blurry as possible, go up until you can actually see the image pretty straight and trim, and it's sharp enough to you. I think about 40 or so would do. Yeah. And then to check for overscan, this image tells you how much of an overscan the image is taken up. So that means right here the edge is up to 2.5% overscan. So we're going to go check here into the advanced video settings and see if it has overscan turned on, and it looks like it is. So go ahead and turn that off, and we notice that there's more of the image that was hiding there. Now the only reason you would have that on is if you're watching something like cable TV, where the cable television might have some extra flicker on the edge of the screen that you don't want to see. So, and we can keep noise reduction at low. The higher it is, usually the more blurry images get. Backlight is okay. And okay, now next we're gonna go ahead and check audio settings. So let's take a look here. Oh no. No. Okay, here we go. Oh, and of course, before I go to audio settings, just let you know that you can go into theater mode and take a look at the other settings that the TVs usually have. Especially if you're playing games, put it on game mode, and the games, even though they won't look perfect like they would when you're watching movies on theater mode, it will allow the game to run a little bit faster if